Hello, this is Shar from The Real Kitchen for Real People, and I trust that everyone is feeling and doing well this beautiful winter wonder day. I think it is about 10 degrees here. So when it's cold like this, I like to make homemade desserts or comfort food. So today we are going to feature my mom's cream cheese pound cake. So what I have here in this mixer already is 3 sticks of butter and 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese, and we're gonna cream it. I had already started it and I'm scraping the sides. So we want to cream this for about 3 minutes, and in between the 3 minutes you want to scrape your sides. So let's continue to cream and mix this for 3 minutes. And like I said, in the middle of 3 minutes you want to scrape your sides to make sure you get all the goodies off the side of your bowl. I started out kind of slow here because I don't want it to splatter everywhere. But after it gets mixed up for about 2 minutes, the last 1 minute, I will speed it up to the next level. But do this until your cream is well mixed. You don't see any white in the bowl. Okay, now that this is well creamed, I'm going to add my sugar in. And you want to start it kind of slow so you won't have sugar flying everywhere. So you just pour a little bit in there at a time. And then in the middle of all this blending, you can remember to always scrape your sides. That's a gimme all the time when you're blending, is to always scrape your sides. Okay? So we're gonna scrape these sides down, push them down so they can get in there and be blended. We don't want nothing left out. I'm going to add a little more sugar and just keep doing this until you put all your sugar in there, and then continue blending. And you can touch it and feel, if it feels grainy to you, then continue blending. So I blend about 5 to 6 minutes because I want to make sure that that sugar is blended. So just keep on blending and adding your sugar. Okay, I've turned up my speed a little bit, and as you can see, it's getting fluffier. So that's what you want. You want to keep going and continue to scrape your sides. And while this is mixing, if you have a stand mixer, while it's mixing, you can prepare your baking pan. So I got a Bundt pan that you put oil in and flour it down. Okay, now that that's been mixing for 6 minutes, I want to add my eggs, and I'm going to add them one at a time. I've already cracked them and put them in this container, so it's just important to crack your eggs in advance, so if there's something wrong with them, you won't be then added it to your batter and have a disaster. So I always check my eggs and crack them prior to adding to anything, and to make sure that they're good. So we're going to add these one at a time to the mixture while it's mixing. And if you're using a hand mixer, you do the same. You just continue blending and you add one at a time. Just make sure your eggs, I remember my mom used to say, just make sure those eggs is blended in there good, because you do not want to taste egg in your cake. Now add another one. And continue blending until you have all 6 eggs added one at a time. Okay, now this is what it looks like. Your batter. It's real fluffy. And now we're going to add our dry ingredients to that. So I have 3 cups of flour in this bowl. And I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of baking powder to the flour. And a half a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to do is mix that together, your dry ingredients. So you have 3 cups of flour in this bowl and a teaspoon of baking powder and a half a teaspoon of salt. So stir that up real well and then set it aside. Okay, you're going to add 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract to the batter. And we're going to turn it on and mix it low. So we're going to mix that together. And we're going to add 2 teaspoons of lemon. 2 teaspoons of lemon. And if you want to, you can just add all vanilla. You don't have to add the lemon if you don't want me to, or if you don't have it. But I always add the 2 teaspoons of lemon and 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. So let that blend and scrape your sides. Okay, now that we have the vanilla and the lemon mixed in there, we're going to add our flour, and you're going to add your flour a little bit at a time. And we do not want to over mix your flour in there, so we're just going to add it a little bit at a time to your mixture. And just add it like that, a little bit at a time, until you've got all your flour, your dry ingredients added to the batter. Okay, you're giving it a stir. Make sure you don't see any flour down in there. And we're going to turn this off and then stir it by hand, because you don't want to over mix your flour. So we want to turn it off. And we're going to lift this up, and we're going to stir this, scrape your sides and all of that. And we're going to stir this by hand. So stir your batter around by hand, and then it'll be ready to put in your pan, your prepared pan. So just make sure that this is mixed really well when you're stirring it. The final stir before you put it in your pan, and the batter will be thick, so don't panic. So we're getting ready to put it in the pan. Okay, as you can see, my pan is sprayed down, oiled, and floured. And you want to make sure it's floured really good so it won't stick. So we're going to put the batter into the pan, and you're just going to drop it in there like that. Just drop it. Don't drag it once it's in there, because you'll move your flour. But just drop it in there like that, all the way around your pan. Just drop it until all your batter is in there. Okay, now that I have it in the pan, I'm getting ready to place it in the oven at 325. It should be preheated already at 325, and it's going to take about an hour and a half to bake. So when you're preparing your pan, your Bundt pan, be sure you use the deeper Bundt pan, not the thin one, but the deepest you can get, about 2 to 3 inches high, because the cake will rise and you don't want it bubbling over. So be sure to use your thicker Bundt pan. So we're going to put this in the oven and let it bake for an hour and a half, and we will return with a beautiful cake. Okay, now that it's cool, you kind of want to go around the edges with your knife to kind of loosen it up a little bit, just around the edges, just to kind of loosen it up a little bit. And then we're going to put a plate on the top of it. And hope that it comes out pretty good. Okay. Okay, now we're going to put a plate on top. Okay, you put your plate on top, and then we're going to flip it over. Okay. Okay, there's your masterpiece. We flipped it over, and that's how beautiful it is. So, if you like this recipe, please let me know by commenting below, and be sure to give me thumbs up. And your comments are very important. Let me know how I'm doing on the channel and what you want to see, and any questions that you may have. I'll try to get them back to you as soon as possible. But this is a beautiful cake, and once you turn it over, flip it over on your decorative plate or whatever, just let it rest. Seems like into 4 hours of resting, a pound cake seems like it tastes better. It just, all that butter and cream cheese just soaks in. And if you want, you can sprinkle a little powdered sugar on top, or glaze it with any kind of powdered sugar glaze that you like. But we just like it plain, and then we might add a little scoop of ice cream to it when we serve it. But this is a delicious cake. The cream cheese pound cake is a masterpiece. So, without any further ado, I'd like to say thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing. And thank you for joining the channel family. So until next time, I'll talk to you later. And remember, the recipe is at the bottom. You don't have to click a link to get to it. It'll all be at the bottom. Talk to you later. Love, love. To take advantage of the special price on the Real Kitchen for Real People Family Story Cookbook that is now available on Amazon. So be sure to go out and get that wonderful cookbook. It's a lot of short stories and memories of gatherings around our table, which is a lot of fun to read and enjoy the recipes and poems. So be sure to check out The Real Kitchen for Real People on Amazon to take advantage of this unique family story cookbook